There were attempts to disintegrate Azerbaijan, and aggressive separatism was actually challenging our statehood, the unity of all the peoples who live in Azerbaijan. Their commitment to the national interests was a crucial factor for our success. The role of religious leaders, of course, in this context is of special importance. And one of the topics which you will discuss is particularly that. We have more than 100 religious leaders attending the forum, and I'm sure they will contribute to strengthen mutual understanding and mutual respect. For Azerbaijan, interreligious dialogue is also something which we strongly advocate for. We organized in our country numerous events on interreligious dialogue. Part of these discussions were within the framework of World Forum on Intercultural Dialogue. Part was on different agenda. There'll be a special session, a special discussion format during the COP29 on interreligious dialogue. So I'm sure that the big audience of religious leaders from all over the world in these days in Baku will demonstrate solidarity and leadership, because the words of religious leaders are very important for all the peoples in the world. And when they hear from them positive messages of peace, tolerance, mutual respect, of course, it's a very important factor. But sometimes we hear different messages, unfortunately, and which create additional tensions. So I think that positive trends in this direction must be strongly supported. One of the issues to be discussed is multilateralism, and here also Azerbaijan can demonstrate its experience. We are strongly committed to multilateralism, and actually we've been promoting the values of multilateralism during our 4 years chairmanship in non-aligned movement since 2019 until the beginning of this year. We, by unanimous decision of all 120 countries, been elected and chaired the second after United Nations biggest international institution. And by the way, our chairmanship was extended for 1 more year, also by unanimous decision, and strongly committed to the founding principles of non-aligned movement, which are territorial integrity, sovereignty of the countries, non-interference into internal affairs of the countries. At the same time, we tried to strengthen institutional segment of the movement. Based on our initiative, parliamentary network was created for the first time, youth and women platform was created. So these are all the legacy of Azerbaijan, and I'm sure that the future institutional development of non-aligned movement will continue, because the world now needs a big group of countries which do not belong to none of the confronting poles, which have their own agenda, have their own rights. Most of these countries had a very difficult and tragic colonial past, and the voice of these countries must be heard. They cannot be ignored. And our chairmanship in NAM actually was aimed at that, to make the movement more vocal, more active, proactive, and more capable. And we, during the COVID time, also used the platform of NAM in order to address important issues of this tragic disease. pandemic hit all the countries, and Azerbaijan was among the countries who actively spoke and acted against vaccine nationalism. As you may remember, in the first months of the pandemic, there was a shortage of vaccine. And many countries which had a lot of money, they just stockpiled, some of them 5 times more vaccines than they needed. And thus, how to say, destroying the health system of many other countries which could not get access to vaccines. So fight against the vaccine nationalism was on top agenda of Azerbaijan as a chair of NAM. We addressed this issue also during the special session of UN General Assembly initiated by us.